Hello! Hi Avery, hi Gray. Can we get an audio check? I was fidgeting with my audio a little bit. Finagling. Let me know if we sound okay. Think it's good? Alright, perfect. Let's go! How are you guys doing? Episode 2, Turnabout Airlines. Let's go. Murder that occurred in my office. The return of the great thief Yatagarasu. Thinking back, everything began on that fateful day, 2 days ago. Two days earlier. At the stage of sleepy that you have a headache. Oh no! Go take a nap if you need to. Drink lots of water too. Yes, everything began high up in the air. 9,000 feet in the air to be precise. Go You! Thank you for flying Go You Airlines. We are currently experiencing some slight turbulence. We are asking all passengers to please return to their seats and fasten their seatbelts. Rich people plane, yeah, for real. Murder? Murder in my Ace Attorney game? It's Edgeworth. Flight G390, first floor lounge, at 6:13 in the morning. Oh, the animations are so good! Ugh. Why do I feel like I just woke up from a horrible nightmare? I forgot to put my phone away. Hold on. Bro really said standing man emoji, yeah. 6:13, huh? Guess I was out cold for about 10 minutes. Huh. Slight turbulence indeed. Ladies and gentlemen, we are currently experiencing some slight turbulence. For your safety, we ask that you return to your seats and fasten your seatbelts. I suppose turbulence is to be expected on a flight. Though admittedly, I'm less than comfortable with anything resembling earthquakes. Edgeworth, it can't be an earthquake if you're in the air. It's impossible. Ew! What's this? A travel wallet. But it's not mine. Here lies Hugo Hughes. Hugo? Yeah. How did someone else's travel wallet wind up in my pocket? My head. Why won't this headache go away? I'll take care of this travel wallet later, or hand it off to an attendant. Audio cut out? Eh? It did? Or am I tweaking? I don't know. Oh? Can you guys hear me now? Ugh! From earthquake like turbulence to an elevator. You can hear now? Okay. Did it cut out? What am I doing hesitating like this? Actually, I know full well why I hesitate. It was when I was still but a young child. I was caught up in a murder that happened in an elevator. Is my phone broken? Oh no! But how long am I going to let my past haunt me? It's just an elevator. I'm a grown man now. I need to behave like one. I think for a second might have, maybe. Oh, okay. Okay, no, you're back. Huh. Very odd. Hopefully it didn't. What the? What in the world happened? Is there something wrong, sir? I must ask that you please return to your seat. Eek! He's dead! Please, calm down. You mustn't jump to conclusions without all the facts. What's wrong? Did something happen? You murderer! No! You have it all wrong. It wasn't me. Bro got an honorary case. Exactly. Poor Edgeworth. Oh my gosh. Second floor, first class. Do we see Edgeworth down here? Do you guys see that? Bottom right corner. Everyone, I'm sorry to interrupt, but I have an important announcement. I'm one of your flight attendants today, Rhoda Tenero. You got an honorary game. Unfortunately, we have just had a minor accident on this flight. An accident? Don't treat us like we're stupid! I caught a glimpse and it was a murder! What? Murder? What's going on with this flight? Everyone, please calm down. There is no reason to panic. Double-decker airplane. Yeah, it's big fancy. This flight will stay on course and make its scheduled landing. We're still currently in the middle of a rough patch of turbulence. So until we are out of this area of turbulence, I ask that you please remain seated. But someone was killed, right? I mean, what about the killer? Let me off! Please, there's no need to feel threatened. We have already apprehended the culprit. Yeah, we see him right there. Edgeworth is tied up in his chair. Poor guy. I like the guy eating his Wellington. Yeah, he's chowing. He doesn't care. I ask that everyone please remain calm. What the heck is he talking about? Why should we remain calm? My name is Miles Edgeworth. I'm a prosecutor and I assure you that I am not the killer. Ha! Being a prosecutor doesn't make you incapable of murder, buddy. Now you listen here. I'm not the killer. I simply found the body. So you say. However, I'm sure that you are the perpetrator of this crime. I swear on my honor as a professional flight attendant. Oh, is that right? I know what I saw. And there's even very strong incriminating evidence to back me up. What kind of incriminating evidence is she talking about? We've already alerted the proper authorities at our destination. Until we land, you will remain in our custody by the powers vested in our captain. Throw hands with the woman. Was he practicing chess for Gummy? Oh, maybe. That's really cute if he was. The blue pieces are all dead, though. Dead on the board. I'm very sorry, but please understand our situation. Your situation? I'm more concerned with mine and the direction it's going in. I'm not about to just sit idly by while I get accused of murder. Miss Tenero, is it? Yes. I was wondering if you might give me a chance. A chance? To do what? A chance to plead my case. And a chance to ask what you meant by incriminating evidence just now. To accuse a passenger of such a grave crime without allowing him to give a proper defense. Can the professional flight attendant decide if you really call this action righteous? Chance to get hit! Untie me! Untie me and I'll show you what a knuckle sandwich tastes like. You have a point. Very well, I'll listen to what you have to say. But be wary of what you reveal. I'm afraid you'll only look even more suspicious if your explanation fails to satisfy. I also do not have the time to deal with you all day, so please make it quick. Of course. As you wish. Good. Very well then. Let's get started. I know for a fact that I didn't kill that man in the elevator. What I don't know is what sort of evidence she has up her sleeve. But I'm certain it doesn't fit with how the crime really occurred. Let's go! What Miss Tenero saw. I swear to tell the whole truth as a professional flight attendant. Unfortunately for you, Mr. Edgeworth, I am certain you are the killer. The scene I saw in front of the elevator. It was you, standing there, with fresh blood dripping off the murder weapon. So if you would please cooperate, we'll turn you over just as soon as we land. I'm sorry, who dies from getting smacked by a wallet? Ma'am? That's it? That's her evidence? I don't think you could ask for a more perfect witness testimony. Wouldn't you agree, Mr. Edgeworth? Not really. It's hardly perfect when there's a gaping hole in it. Yeah, perfectly flimsy, more like. Let's go. Okay. Scene I saw is you. Okay. Present! Picked up off the floor in front of the elevator. It isn't mine, so whose is it? You'd have to have a lot of change in that wallet to die from it. Real. Body found at 6:15 a.m. inside the elevator, stopped at the first floor lounge. Details, meals, movies, and other services inside. Itinerary. Okay, well, we know that's not it. Can I not look at this? Hello? Alright, profile. The victim was seated in first class like myself, but I don't know his name. A GoU Airlines flight attendant charged with taking care of first class. She's only 24? Silver dollars in that bad boy, real. Vans must have been loaded. Okay, I need to press this, I guess. Hold it! Because I don't have evidence that the wallet isn't bloody. Like, I know we dropped it in a puddle, but like, it doesn't say like, yeah. Grr. The murder weapon dripping with blood. Really now. I swear that it was the grisly scene. I swear that was the grisly scene I saw before me. Thank goodness it wasn't a passenger who saw, or there'd be widespread panic by now. As I recall, you were quite panicked yourself at the time. Excuse me? You were scared enough to misread the situation and accuse me of murder. Nonsense! Professional flight attendants cannot afford to be that flustered. I witnessed the murder scene, and I am now listening to your defense, all with a smile. Her face is twitching. Apparently, you also lie with a smile on your face. I guess I just... okay. Punch her, edgy. Deserved. Okay, I guess we're just gonna... Customer service! Yeah, real. Objection! This is a wallet, ma'am. Miss Tenero. What's with the yelling all of a sudden? Force of habit. Well, it doesn't matter. Miss Tenero. You say you saw the murder weapon dripping with blood. Is that correct? Yes. All that blood. Drip, drip, drip. Just recalling that scene sends a chill down my spine. Sorry, but your so-called professional flight attendant training has failed you. What? I'd like to direct your attention to this. Do you know what this is? It's a travel wallet, right? Do you see her face twitching? Her bun is a weird shape. It is. Shots fired. Let's go. Hi, Epic Pikachu. How are you? But it looks a little big and bulky. The thing you saw me holding when I discovered the dead body in the elevator was this very travel wallet, Miss Tenero. What? Impossible! Now then, do you still think I'm the killer? That I killed him with a travel wallet? But I saw blood dripping from the wallet. I know I did. Doing okay? That's good. As you can see, this wallet is clearly stained. But if you would be so kind as to take a whiff, sniff the wallet, I think you would agree that it's only grape juice. Ah, then... That's right. You mistook grape juice for blood. The murder weapon dripping with blood does not, in fact, exist. No! There. That should clear up that pesky accusation. Wait just a sec. That is... I mean, even a wallet could be deadly if it was wrapped around something heavy. I demand that you show me what's inside. Please. Forehead reveal. True. She's trembling, and the tacked on please at the end. Sounds like I've got her. There's no need to look inside. Even you can tell from its appearance that it's light. No! I can't be sure of anything until I see the contents of that wallet for myself! She's a persistent one. I suppose we have no choice but to see what's inside. Miss Tenero, if you would be so kind as to open the wallet and check its contents for me. All right. I usually don't pry into passengers' belongings, but we have no choice here. Open the wallet. Republic of Borginia passport. It seems that this passport is all that is in here. As you saw, there is nothing but a passport inside. This renders your wallet was the murder weapon argument moot. Wouldn't you agree? Please, hear me out, Mr. Edgeworth. What is it now? Well, I was wondering, whose passport is it exactly? Oh yes, ask the handcuff guy to show you the wallet. Can you not look yourself real? Though, Edgeworth did somehow, like, pull it out. Because he was like, hey, look at this. So, I guess he can move a little bit? Can I take a look? Why not? I'm rather curious myself. Republic of Virginia passport. Passport number 122750921K. Type P. Surname Hicks. Given name Ackby. Nationality Republic of Virginia. Sex male. Why does it say Rob Hicks? What? Who is Rob? Oh, Republic of Virginia Hicks. I see. Okay. I was like, huh? His name is Ackby. This is... Just as I thought. This travel wallet belonged to Mr. Ackby Hicks, which makes it the victim's property. Okay, and? You stole the victim's wallet! He's hitting a bald stare, yeah. I can see it. Didn't you? How dare you? You said it yourself. You claimed to be holding this wallet in your hands when I found you. This is true, but does Edgeworth really need to steal? Does a man this well-dressed really need to steal? He's in first class for a reason. Perhaps I did misconstrue the wallet for the murder weapon, but it seems that I wasn't wrong about who the culprit is. Miss Tenero's logic. As you claimed, the murder weapon is not the travel wallet. He cuts Gummy's paycheck so he can be first class. I'm dead. However, it is something you stole from Mr. Hicks after you were done with the vile deed. I find it hard to believe myself, but your motive was very simple. You were out to steal Mr. Hicks's money, weren't you? Was the money not, like, all over the elevator? As if he's dumb enough to commit a crime on an airplane where there's nowhere to run for hours on end. That's what I'm saying. Look, all of his money is on the floor here. If Edgeworth wanted the money, he would have picked it up. So even though I didn't have the murder weapon on me, you still suspect me, I see. You stood up at the crime scene with the victim's wallet in your hands. How can I turn a blind eye and not suspect you of foul play? Miss Ma'am. Miss Ma'am. Present elevator.
Objection!
I wonder if I might get a word in, Miss Tenero. What is it now? Miss Tenero, I wonder if you noticed the contradiction within your own testimony. What are you talking about? She's not the sharpest tool in the shed, absolutely not. It's simply impossible that the motive for this murder was monetary theft. One glance at the crime scene should have told you that. What about the scene would prove that the motive for the murder was not the money? The money!
Take that!
If I may direct your attention to the things strewn all over the floor. Ah! That's right. The floor is covered in bills and coinage. By your rationale, these were the very things the killer was after. Somebody once told me! I don't know the lyrics to that song very well. My sister is dancing to it, though. For her... Is it a competition? Is it for competition? No, it's for a daddy-daughter dance. So my dad and my youngest sister are both dancing to that song. But I do not know the lyrics. Ah! The world was gonna roll me, I see. Yeah, All-Star. Yeah, All-Star by Smash Mouth, that's right. I think we can assume that the wallet fell during the victim's struggle with this killer. And I would think that the killer would have noticed something like money scattering everywhere. Furthermore, as you can see, there was no effort made by the killer to gather the money. But the wallet...
Objection!
Autocorrect, it happens. Ah yes, the wallet. You will also recall that the only thing in it was Mr. Hicks's passport. Ah! If you are really insisting that it was a crime based on greed, then you're claiming that it was all for an empty travel wallet. Forgive me, please! They talk about rock stars in the chorus, so close enough, fair enough. Also, Gray, it's your mans! Zinc LeBlanc is here! Hey, what the heck? Are you saying the attendant's wrong? So that guy isn't the killer? Huh! Don't believe it, everyone. It's a trick! Will you all please be quiet? Miss Tenero. Yeah! It's him! It's the man! Yes? You lost your cool when you saw the dead body. Plus, the lounge was dark, and looking into the light from the elevator, it's easy to see how you mistook the wallet in my hand for the murder weapon. I take no offense that you thought that I was the killer. Mr. Edgeworth. Thank you for releasing me. I thought he was tied with rope. Is that orange juice next to him or coffee? I don't know. I don't know how to say this, so I will be gibberishing. Sadly, the lead singer for that song passed away not too long ago. Oh, really? Dang. And this, it might be tea. It might be tea. What is it now? Miss Tenero, if you could please translate, I'd be much obliged. It sounds like Virginian, but I don't understand any of it. There's another attendant on this flight who... Oh yes, weird pot looks like a picture. Yeah.
I said that he is giving the runabout! I don't require an interpreter. I speak English just well, see? You, the attendant.
Dripped out. Yeah, look at him. Yes, sir?
I want this person to be under the arrest until we arrive at the airport.
I'm sorry, sir, but what exactly are you hoping for?
What is it you want? I am finished talking to the likes of you.
Please, I would like to hear why you would like me to be held under arrest until we land. His face turning red like that is concerning. See a doctor. He's very angry.
You! How dare you try to waste my time!
You are the one who stuck your nose into my affairs. License to love, laugh, maim, and murder. What a movie poster.
I wanted to spend even at least one more second with my precious art. I have no time for other things. I know what you are. I see through you. Insolvent. Yes, I am pretty sure that's how you say it in English.
My brother can forcibly make his face that red. Oh gosh. Well, I should hope I'm not monetarily bankrupt, but I don't think that's what you mean. I'm sorry, but I don't think I caught your name.
I am Cinq LeBlanc II. I am a very wealthy man in the Virginia. But I am not an ordinary rich man. I am an art dealer, a rich seller of beauty.
Mr. LeBlanc, what did you mean just now?
Pardon?
When you said that Mr. Edgeworth was giving me the runabout?
I have to explain? Unbelievable. I will say it once and only once. I do not have even a second to waste. Time is money, as they say.
Yes, and yet you could continue to blather on.
I saw it, yes I did. I saw the victim go onto the elevator. Going down to the lounge. It was exactly at 6 o'clock.
A rich guy demanding to get his way, go figure, yeah. And what's the significance of that time? 6, he says. Wait, you saw him at 6. Ah, what's the matter, Mr. Edgeworth?
He understands, I see. Miss Attendant, what time did you discover the body?
Bro's got mad chins, game. Yeah, he does. I see 3 of them at least. Well, it was a little after that patch of turbulence, so I would say around 6:15.
Ah! Hicks was his name, was it? Then I say that man Hicks was killed in the 15-minute time span. And the only person in the lounge at that time was this prosecutor, yes?
Yeah, I was in my seat the whole time! Me too. I was watching the movie and enjoying a fine glass of grape juice. I was still eating. Still haven't finished, see?
The other passengers have an alibi, so you have no problem with them, I suppose.
Bro has so many bottles, yeah. He's chugging.
No compliant, I see! Not a single word against this, right?
I have no way of discounting what you have put forth at this point, but it wasn't me.
Oh, so you say. But do you have, what you say, the evidence?
Mr. Edgeworth, are you really the culprit after all? Mr. LeBlanc, I suppose you are quite certain in what you saw, enough to give testimony.
Of course! I was looking at the man the whole time! He was playing with that annoying little, small machine the whole time.
Machine.
Yes! That's what you people call it in English, yes? It was making me crazy with the click, click, click!
From that description, it sounds like some sort of small computer. I believe what Mr. LeBlanc is talking about is a cell phone. I have to say that I did see him playing with it quite a bit myself. A simple cell phone. A laptop or organizer I can see, but that's kind of low budget. Edgeworth, why are you judging? Not everybody is as rich as you.
I hate that nosy little machine in his hand.
Judgmental? That's what I'm saying.
Not a fragment of beauty. All it produces is ugly sounds. Anyway, I know what I saw.
Miss Tenero. Yes? Pro probably has the computer skills of a grandma. Probably gets Gumshoe to do all of it for him, you know? I was wondering if I might be granted permission to examine the crime scene. What? You want to examine the crime scene? If you would grant me a little measure of time, I'm sure I can produce the real culprit.
I don't like the sound of that. Fox in the duck pen. Yes, I think that's how you say it in English.
It's a fox guarding the hen house, and I believe my innocence was proven earlier. And if I'm given the chance, I can clear up all the remaining doubts. Miss Tenero, if you wait until we arrive, there is a good chance that some evidence will have been destroyed by then. I understand. Let me see what the captain has to say.
Ha! This should not be approved.
Please, Mr. LeBlanc, in an emergency, all decisions are to be made by the captain alone. Now please wait here while I go and ask the captain what to do. I'll be right back.
You are not planning to erase evidence when you are doing your investigation, yes?
Of course not.
Ha! We will see.
Mr. Edgeworth, you have the captain's permission to investigate the crime scene.
What? Unbelievable!
I am in your debt, Miss Tenero. However, there is one condition. I am to supervise you. Can you agree to that? Of course. I see no problem with that stipulation. It's only natural, as I am still a suspect in this case. I take full responsibility and will watch Mr. Edgeworth's every move. I hope this is reassurance enough that there will be no foul play. Now then, Mr. Edgeworth, shall we proceed? Edgy needs a babysitter, he does. If you should need any help with anything, please feel free to use T to talk. It's time to head to the scene of the crime. But first, the first floor lounge. But I can look around here! It's my seat. Unfortunately, I didn't bring anything particularly useful for an investigation. It's not as if I'm constantly prepared for such a thing to occur. Oh, that's right. I was in the middle of recreating a chess game. Hint coin, yeah. Just an observation, but aren't there too many red knights around that lone blue pawn? Nonsense. It simply shows that the blue pawn is no match for the red knight's might. Bro wants to throw hands. Is he insinuating that Phoenix is a blue pawn? Not even a knight himself? He's Sir Baker. Show some respect. Ha. Sir Blue Knight, you know?
Hurry up and investigate! Time should not be wasted. Precious is human time, is how you say it, I believe.
Okay. This was Mr. Hicks's seat. I don't see the machine Mr. LeBlanc was talking about. Perhaps it's in the elevator. Maybe. We should probably head down to the crime scene now. No, Edgeworth. I'm going to look around. It's a movie poster for License to Love, Laugh, Maim, and Murder. That's a Go-You Airlines sponsored movie. It's a suspense, hard-boiled, action, romantic horror comedy flick. Is that the genre listing for this thing? Yes, it's a movie that can be enjoyed by anyone because it encompasses all those genres. I can't even begin to imagine what the plot would be. But you have to admit it's piqued your curiosity, right? I heard the main strategy with this genre listing was to make people curious. Well then, consider the mission a successful one.
Don't get near me, you criminal!
He said, "Don't get near me, you criminal." Not the killer, and I intend to prove that starting now.
But that's contrary to the facts!
He says, "But that's contrary to the facts." I can understand his English just fine, thank you very much. What's a lifesaver doing here?
I bought it at the in-flight shop just beyond the lounge. If something should happen, having one will save your life.
I think this guy would have been better off not taking a plane to begin with. Hey, listen, if he's got places to be, gotta do what he gotta do. If I may have a word with you.
This shake, so awesome.
It's great to hear. However, I would like to ask you a few questions.
I was here the whole time, so wouldn't know.
Eat or speak. Please pick one. I think he chose to eat. Yes, I can hear that. Hey, miss. How about another glass? Excuse me, but I was wondering if you know anything about the murder.
Your nightmare.
Real. How about it? How about a glass together? I'm sorry, but I must decline. I wasn't talking to you. I was asking the cute attendant. I'm sorry, but I'm on the clock. Oh, I'm sorry, but I'm on the clock right now. But if you need a refill, I'd be happy to bring you another glass at any time. You got it, Toots. That's no way to talk to a lady. Okay. First floor lounge. I want to thank you for your help back there, Miss Tenero. It was nothing. You should thank the captain for granting you permission. And just so everything is perfectly clear, I still don't trust you. Your standing with me hasn't changed one iota. I see. I will bear that in mind. I received an order from the captain earlier. He wanted you to know that we reserve the right to stop your investigation if we feel that you are not making progress. And when we do, he asked that you please return to your seat at that time. So my time runs out at his and his crew's discretion, does it? I have to find a way to discredit Mr. LeBlanc's testimony before time is up. I understand. By the way, is there any place you could think of where the killer might hide on board? I don't think so. After every first-class passenger was accounted for at his or her seat, we made a thorough search of the plane. As for business and economy class, no one can move between those two classes in first class without a staff keycard. And we found no record of a keycard being used at all. Which means that I have a first-class killer on my hands. At least I know that much for sure. And one other thing. No one else has been allowed near this crime scene since the murder was discovered either. Let's go! Now then, let's get started. But where should we start from? Let's start with Mr. LeBlanc's statements. The crime occurred between 6 a.m. and 6:15 a.m. During that interval, the only person in the lounge was myself, which would make me the prime suspect. However, since I did not kill Mr. Hicks, it meant that the killer was around somewhere. What clues point to where the killer could have been? If we're to believe what you say is true, then yes. The first order of business will be to gather information to win your trust. What floors does this elevator service? Only the first and second, although it can also go down to the cargo hold. However, that requires a flight crew keycard. So the only floors accessible to passengers are the first and second, huh? Okay. Let's see. Wonder what was hanging off of this lanyard. Something's missing from this picture. Now, if I could just put my finger on it. What is this sinister-looking figure on the floor here. Oh, that's a piggy bank from our company mascot, Captain Hugo. It's just one of the many pieces of merchandise we sell at our in-flight shop. This bank is a limited edition and is so popular that we're down to our last one. Have an in-flight shop? Yes, it's just beyond the lounge to the right. The shutter to the store is closed at the moment, but it was open the whole flight up until Mr. Hicks's body was discovered. There's blood on here. Could this have been the murder weapon?
Blood!
I doubt anyone was expecting to find a dead body in an elevator on this flight. So Mr. Hicks, he's really dead? Yes. She's trembling, although I can't fault her for that when there's a corpse right there. Mr. Hicks, if you're really dead, then please answer yes. I see she's over the trembling now, although a new symptom seems to have appeared. Anyway, I should focus on the victim's body. Let's see. There's blood on the back of Mr. Hicks's head. Could this be the cause of death? He appears to have been struck very hard. Even his glasses are broken.
Logic!
Murder weapon, blunt force trauma. Statue with blood on it lying next to the body of a man who was beaten to death. Oh, Mr. Edgeworth, I think I figured something out. Yes? What is it? The way the blood is on this, it looks like it matches up with a wound on his head. Well, aren't we deserving of the Master of the Obvious title? Well, what do you think, Mr. Edgeworth? Don't you think that's worth investigating? It would appear that this figurine is our murder weapon. Oh, I just knew it! I mean, I can't think of any other connection. Perhaps Master of the Oblivious would be more befitting. Let's go! Okay.
Money.
Money is strewn all over the floor of the elevator. I would guess it was all in Mr. Hicks's wallet at some point. Is that it? Okay. Oh, that's not it. Okay. Well, we'll look at it later. Normally I would say that this is compromising a crime scene, but since he's been authorized to investigate, it's okay. Yeah, he got permission. There's some spilled grape juice in front of the elevator. I assume it was spilled during the turbulence. Oh, we must clean that up or someone might get hurt. Is this tile or carpet? Because it looks like carpet, but it could be tile. If it was tile, I could see somebody slipping and falling, but if it's carpet, it's just dirty. Aha! What is it, Mr. Edgeworth? I found some very important evidence. What is the important piece of evidence in this scene?
This.
Take that!
These lines here. They obviously weren't made naturally. You're right, but how were they made then, and why are they here? I don't know yet, but I do know that they are important to this investigation. It looks like carpet spilled juice doesn't make that pattern on tile, right? So then no one's gonna get hurt. It's just gross. Aha! What is it now, Mr. Edgeworth? I found an even more important piece of evidence in this scene. What is the important piece of evidence? Shoe.
Take that!
What is it? They're a little smudged, but I think we can both agree that they are a set of footprints. There is some spilled grape juice on the floor in front of the elevator. So you think... Yes, these belong to our killer. Oh, then maybe we should check the shoe sizes of everyone in first class. I don't think that'll be of any help to us. Unfortunately, the prints are too smudged, which will make it hard to get a definitive match. Oh, I see. Okay, then. Glasses and candles thrown into disarray by the turbulence. Probably worried about someone pulling an insurance fraud scheme. Yeah, I guess so. It's been a while since I've seen this big of a mess. It's terribly embarrassing, but I thought it was an earthquake for a second. And I frantically started searching for gas valves to shut off. I guess the shaking of the plane was bad enough to be mistaken for a real earthquake. Not that I would know, since I was unconscious for most of it.
Guys, you're in the air! It can't be an earthquake!
This toppled over chair. Yet another victim of the turbulence.
Ah! No!
Look at all that grape juice staining the back! It may not look like it, but this chair was extremely valuable. It was. Yes, it was used when the Rocker Pals came to tour this plane. The Rocker Pals' leader sat in this very chair. I'm sorry, but what are these Rocker Pals? I can't believe you've never heard of them. They're all the rage. The Rocker Pals are an extremely popular international band. They added the Pals part as they became more popular, especially among teens. Ah, that explains it. I'm not really one for the music of today. Maybe I should ask Detective Gumshoe about them later. On second thought, I can already see how confusing the conversation would get. Edgy trying to be hip with the kids? What or who is this? This is a bronze statue of the founder of GoU Airlines, Mr. Hugo Hughes. The one on the left is when he was in his 40s, and the other is of him in his 80s. The man aged all over those 4 decades. Maybe I need to squint more. Can I not look at this? Bucket! Bucket! These counter windows offer a glimpse of the sky, but these clouds, they tell me nothing. Mr. Edgeworth, you look like you're talking to the clouds. Is that so? Then tell me, what do you suppose I said to them? I don't know, but it looked like a rather one-sided conversation. The clouds, they tell me nothing. Okay. There are a few copies of Sky magazine in the magazine rack. This month's special is an English trivia quiz. That's not a bad idea. I've heard that the youth of today don't know a particle from a participle. Now, please don't go around confusing people with made-up words, Mr. Edgeworth. Who's ever heard of such a silly word as participle? Case in point. I've heard of them, but do I know what they are? No. These bottles and glasses must have been broken by the turbulence. There's quite a bit of broken glass here. Please be careful when passing through the area. Thank you very much for the warning, Mr. Edgeworth. However, no matter how kind you are towards me, know that it does not clear up any suspicions I have about you. I wasn't warning you for the sake of clearing my name. Okay. This door leads to the flight attendant's room, but please understand that it is off limits to unauthorized personnel. The room is giving off the scent of women's perfume. One would think that perfume would smell great. However, to me, it simply smells. Me too! Not that I have any interest in what lies behind this door. Perhaps we should return to the investigation, Mr. Edgeworth? Mr. Edgeworth? Sorry, I spaced out for a second there. Bro. Bro? This grand piano is the pride of this plane. It can play the music of whatever CD we insert into its CD drive. That is not a piano. It is more like an overgrown music box. Ah, but its keys depress along with the music, as though there really is someone playing it. Some people have entirely too much money to waste on overly complex toys. The in-flight shop is just beyond these shutters. But we do not have permission to open them, so I'm afraid I must leave them closed. There must still be clues to be found here in this lounge. I must remain ever vigilant. I guess it's still here. Okay. What am I looking at? I've looked at this. I've looked at that. Oh, shoes? There's no grape juice residue on the soles of his shoes, making it highly unlikely that Mr. Hicks entered this elevator after the turbulence. There's something sticking out of his pocket. Hope he won't mind if I take a look at what's inside. It's a picture. This guy is so... He looks so done with life. It looks like it was taken inside a building somewhere. Found in the victim's pocket. A souvenir picture, perhaps. Deduce. Passport. Mayhaps.
Eureka!
Nope! Ah, I should have saved! No! There's something missing from the scene, and I'll show Miss Tenero what's off through that piece of evidence. Huh? But it's... Oh, it's his phone. 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 I see! I was almost there. I guess he is done with life now, this is true.
Eureka!
Mr. Hicks's machine is nowhere to be found. His machine? His cell phone, Miss Tenero. Ah, so I guess because it's not here... Yes, I think we can safely deduce that the killer took it. The victim supposedly had one, but it's gone missing. Did the killer take it? Oh. Looks like his hide the pain face. Yeah. Where was the killer? Elevator. I guess this? True, there wasn't anyone else in the lounge other than myself right before the turbulence. But if the killer was in the elevator along with the victim, then that's a different story. If only I could prove that the killer rode the elevator with Hicks. I have it. I'm sorry, but I don't understand, Mr. Edgeworth. I can prove that someone other than myself was here around the time of the murder. What? Really? Yes, it's rather simple, actually. The proof is in the pudding, or rather, the grape juice in this case. These footsteps here confess to me this very fact, that someone exited the elevator alive. Seeing as how the victim is dead, that would mean a second person. But couldn't the footprints be from Mr. Hicks himself? Ah, but if you take a look at our victim's shoes, you can see the soles are spotless. Which means that Mr. Hicks wasn't alone in the elevator. In fact, it's quite the opposite. There was actually one other person inside the elevator. Spilt during the turbulence looked like footprints and something being dragged. Yippee! Oh, thank goodness. What's going on over there?
Unforgivable! This is unforgivable! Do you understand what I am saying? The movie is late! It is the same level of bad as if the plane arrived late!
But the movie...
What? I will not talk to you anymore! You are just wasting my time!
What is the matter, Mr. LeBlanc? If there is no emergency, please return to your seat, sir.
Do not tell me what to do! I need not to sit down! Well, Mr. Prosecutor, did you prove you are innocent yet?
If you would like to, I will prove my innocence to you right now.
What? Nonsense! Are you saying my eyewitness testimony is mistaken?
Not mistaken, merely that there is room for doubt. I'd be most honored if you could please tell me what you saw in detail once more.
Fine! Suit yourself!
What I saw.
I am certain I saw Mr. Hicks enter the elevator. It was when the needles on my pocket watch pointed to the 6 and the 12. The body was discovered 15 minutes after that in the lounge, yes? Then you, the only person in the lounge at the time, must be the criminal!
That's called disorderly conduct, LeBlanc. Yeah, sit down, sir. Mr. LeBlanc's conclusions seem to make logical sense. After all, the only person in the lounge at the supposed time of the murder was me.
So, my eyewitness testimony. If you think you can destroy it, then come, let me see. Hurry, do I look like a man who is having the time to wait for you?
Why is he so irritated? I'm the one accused of murder here. Anyway, I must find a way to discredit Mr. LeBlanc's account somehow, and fast. Let's go! Okay.
Hold it!
Mr. LeBlanc, were you able to get a good look at the inside of the elevator at the time?
Of course I saw what was inside!
And you are sure that the victim was in the elevator alone?
Yes! The only person inside was that Mr. Hicks man!
This last outburst is a bit too important to let go. The only person inside was that Hicks man.
Objection!
Mr. LeBlanc,
What is it?
there is a very glaring contradiction in your testimony.
What do you mean?
Please take a look at the area in front of the elevator. There, the spilled grape juice.
Yes, and? Will you admit you also spilled it with the blood?
No, it spilled itself during the turbulence. But the interesting thing here is the set of grape juice footprints.
Footprints?
Yes, the ones that lead from within the elevator out into the lounge itself. It's evidence that proves that someone other than Mr. Hicks exited the elevator alive.
Oomph!
There must have been another person in the elevator with Mr. Hicks. Now then, I am done playing games. Why don't you tell us the truth? Can you please translate for us? No way. That's totally impossible. I guess is what he said.
No way! That is totally impossible! I know there was no other person in there. I saw with my own eyes.
If you want to know what I think, Mr. Edgeworth, I don't think Mr. LeBlanc is lying to us. I suppose she's right. He doesn't seem to be lying. But then, what does it mean? What about this contradiction? Mr. LeBlanc, please, just once more, will you recall the details of what you witnessed for me?
Merk.
What I saw, part 2.
I was very upset when Mr. Hicks passed by my seat. I was always checking the time, over and over again. I happened to follow that man with my eyes when he passed me, and I saw clearly into the elevator he was entering. But I swear there was no one else inside. No one!
Mr. LeBlanc, if you would please calm down.
What? There, you do have an issue with my eyewitness testimony!
Not at all. Please forget I said anything. And again, he doesn't appear to be lying. But I can't let this testimony stand as the truth. Alright. He's sweaty. So okay.
Hold it!
Why were you so attentive to the time?
Because something unforgivable was happening.
Come to think of it, you were yelling about something unforgivable earlier.
I was giving a complaint to the attendant about the movie's starting time. Return back to me my time in money! You understand the point?
Movie. Is he talking about the in-flight one that's mentioned in the magazine? Flight itinerary. Meals, drinks, and movie. All times shown correspond to our departure time zone. A summary of the plot and its start time. Interesting.
They were supposed to show License to Love, Laugh, Maim, and Murder. I cannot see that movie in my country. You can only see it on international flights. I look forward greatly to that movie. I check my pocket watch whenever possible so I would not miss it. I even set my pocket watch to the destination time when I came on board. So my watch is not wrong. It matched the schedule. But the movie was still late. Very, very late.
Hold it!
Your pocket watch. I'd like to ask you a little more about it, if that's alright. My watch is set to my destination's time. I always set it when I board the plane. But this is departure time.
Objection!
I was going to check that, but I'm glad I'm right. Okay. Mr. LeBlanc, you said this just now in your testimony.
I even set my pocket watch to the destination time when I came on board.
Now, if your watch had been set to our destination's time zone, it would mean that your watch is displaying the time of our destination.
Yes, and the correct time is worth its 6 cents.
I would like you to take a look at this. If you believe this Sky magazine, clocks on this flight run in accordance with the time of our departure time zone. Of course, the movie schedule was also created with that in mind. Miss Tenero, for confirmation's sake, what time zone is this flight aligned to right now? Well, we made a short stop at a transfer point. That's right. It was in that small Asian country, the Republic of Zhongfa. But we didn't readjust our onboard clocks at that time, so right now we are still running on Borginian time.
What?
The time difference between Borginia and our destination is 9 hours. In that case, it is only natural that your watch would be out of sync with the schedule.
Wah!
Further, with your analog watch set to our destination's time, it would appear to be running 3 hours fast when compared to the flight's onboard clocks. It also changes everything about your testimony, and you can bet 1,000,000 cents on that. In light of this information, it means you saw Mr. Hicks 3 hours prior at 3 a.m.
Wah! million cents!
This should clear up all of the remaining accusations.
So this basically widens the time frame for the time of death, right?
Virginia is a fictional country, by the way. It doesn't exist. Yes, I'm aware. So is Zhongfa. Yes, because Mr. LeBlanc saw the victim enter the elevator at 3 a.m. Means the time of death could be anywhere from 3 to 6:15 a.m. The question now is, where was Mr. Hicks during that span of time, and what was he doing?
I've got something to say.
And you are?
Yeah, oh, I'm Cammy Meal. I'm a flight attendant.
What is it you wish to say?
Well, I think your story is a little different from how I remember it.
What do you mean, Cammy?
I saw Mr. Hicks sitting in a seat at 5 a.m., you know.
What? How can you be so sure of the time?
Oh, that's right. He pushed his call button while we were parked at the transfer point.
A message from Captain Hugo. This flight will be making a brief stop to refuel and transfer cargo in the Republic of Zhongfa between 4 and 5 a.m. We ask that all passengers remain on board at that time. Thank you for your cooperation. Ah, the stop we made for refueling and cargo transfer in Zhongfa, correct? And she likes chamomile, yes.
Yes, it was from 4 to 5 a.m. according to our clocks.
During that time, did any of the passengers leave, or did any new ones board this flight?
No. Not a single person got off or on in Zhongfa.
What about the flight crew?
A few who were handling the cargo transfer might have temporarily gotten on or off, but eventually everyone, including Cammy and myself, came back on the plane.
So basically, I can assume that no one left or got on since our initial takeoff. Interesting. I should keep that in mind. Made a brief stop from 4 a.m. to 5 a.m. to transfer cargo and refuel at transfer point.
Yeah, and I answered his call. I can tell you Mr. Ackley Hicks was there in his seat when we took off again at 5 a.m.
Mr. Ackley Hicks was there in his seat when we took off again at 5 a.m. Alright, that puts the time of the murder between 5 and 6:15 a.m.
Okay, now what time did you come down to the lounge, Mr. Edgeworth?
I remember coming down here almost as soon as we left the Republic of Zhongfa.
Ah! You were here the whole time from 5, yes? Then you are the only one who could be the killer.
Mr. Edgeworth, were you really here in this lounge the entire time from 5 a.m. onwards?
Unfortunately, yes.
But then how do we explain the footprints?
Is that not obvious? This man waited for Mr. Hicks here in the lounge, waited to kill him. And then he put the corpse in the elevator. That is when the turbulence happened. My eyewitness testimony may have been mistaken. But what time I saw Mr. Hicks enter the elevator on the second floor does not matter. Because the entire incident concluded here in this lounge.
Everything happened in the lounge. Is that what you really believe, Mr. LeBlanc?
What? Do you have another idea?
I simply feel that there is something out of place in the scenario you presented. Is there something that can tie this crime to a location other than this lounge?
Tracks? Question mark?
Question mark? These footprints, in which direction do you think these are headed?
That would be the in-flight shop.
Correct. They are headed in the direction of the shop.
But they look disconnected. They end all of a sudden.
You are right to point out that they do not form one continuous trail to the shop. However, there is another piece of evidence that connects the shop to our crime scene. Besides the footprints, what else points to the in-flight shop?
This.
Take that!
The murder weapon. This little piggy bank is sold at the in-flight shop. It is sold there and only there, and it is not displayed here in the lounge. How then did it find its way here? Don't you find that a tiny bit suspicious?
Such a trivial point. It only means that you prepared it, taking it from the shop first before coming here. It doesn't prove you are innocent at all.
Is there no way to win with this man?
If I may.
What is it?
You see,
Well, it's just as Mr. Edgeworth says.
Oh, and why do you know this so well?
Well, it's just that that piggy bank was there in the shop. I saw it with my own eyes. And when was this? It was maybe around 5:40 a.m.? Isn't that just before we hit that patch of turbulence? That's right.
You were in the shop just before the turbulence!
Yes, I was. Come to think of it. Miss Tenero, when I found the body, I believe you came out of that door. Yes, I did. And what is beyond that door? That's the flight attendant's room.
Then you were on the first floor!
Yes. I had to do something at the shop and in the flight attendant's room. And in the flight attendant's room. So I went to the shop first and then to the flight attendant's room. You say that you passed by me at some point. Yes, you seemed really into the issue of Sky magazine you were reading at the time. I don't suppose you noticed me walking by. I vaguely recall someone walking by, but I didn't take notice of who it was. Anyway, the piggy bank was definitely there at the shop when I went there.
Why did you go to the shop in the first place?
I went there for a work-related matter.
Work, you say?
Yes, the upkeep of the shop is also one of my responsibilities.
Why did you not say anything about that until now is what I want to know.
In any case, I believe it is clear that the shop needs to be investigated as well. Shall we head over there then? What is it now?
Aren't you forgetting something, Miss Rhoda? Don't you need the captain's permission to check the shop?
No, I haven't forgotten. But I have already asked him for permission to search the entire plane. So I think we're alright.
Huh? That's weird.
What is?
Well, I just talked to the captain, see? And he said that he didn't give you permission to do anything like that at all.
What is the meaning of this, Miss Tenero?
It means she's lying. Go on, admit that you are. You said you had permission to search all over, but you don't. And yet here you are.
Uh-oh is right.
You, flight attendant! What are you trying to do? Pull the sheep over us?
The captain's calling for you, Miss Rhoda. Oh, but don't worry. I already got permission to search the shop from the captain. See, unlike you, I do things the right way.
Miss Tenero, why would you do such a thing? To be fair, this isn't on Edgeworth. Yeah, that wasn't his fault. She lied to him. He believed her. Please excuse me.
Looks like I get to be in charge now. Please go back to your seat, Mr. LeBlanc. Now then, Mr. Edgeworth, if you would follow me, I will be your guide from now on.
Something about Miss Tenero that has piqued my curiosity. But right now, investigating the in-flight shop is my top priority.
Yippee!
I'll be your guide! In-flight shop. So this is the in-flight shop. 50% off sale. It's quite a mess in here.
You think? I guess I'll have to clean things up then. Tee-hee.
Hold on. You can't clean up a potential crime scene. The objection pose, look at him!
Oh, thank goodness. I hate cleaning so much.
I mustn't rush things here. I must remain cool, calm, and collected. Because this piggy bank was left at the crime scene. There's a very good chance that the killer had paid this place a visit.
Let's go!
Alright. Inside this display case is a row of lifesavers and life vests for sale.
We sell a lot of those when there's some kind of accident or something.
You don't just provide them!
But some people buy them even when nothing's going on. How about it, Mr. Edgeworth? Care to buy one?
I sense that this shop is one shopper away from being sued. As they should be. Stuffed toys, just like the one Miss Meal is holding, are on display here. They're relatively cheap, which explains why they're displayed so haphazardly.
How about it, Mr. Edgeworth? You know you want one too. They're great for when you're stressed.
Why do I envision stuffed animal abuse when she says that? No! Don't abuse your stuffed animals! There are all kinds of luxury name brand merchandise for sale in this display case. And they're lined up in such a manner, just as to scream "Buy me" to any passersby. The glass from the display case's door is shattered all over the floor. It looks like there's nothing on display inside either. Wait, actually, I think there is something. What is this? A mini captain's hat.
He has a hat!
Hat probably used to be on the piggy bank's head. Let's give it a go and see. I believe this piggy bank was forcibly removed from the display case. Does this mean that the killer broke the glass to get at it?
Yippee!
Really?
Don't tell me you don't know what things go where in the shop.
Well, I don't. Miss Rhoda's in charge of this place. So come on, how should I know anything?
I sense that further inspection of the display case is needed. The glass on this door is broken. Perhaps it was the killer who broke it in order to take the piggy bank. It's a bit odd that the inside of the case is so devoid of glass shards. Plus, the glass broke rather—
Ah!
What is it?
I touched the glass and it cut my finger. It hurts, Mr. Edgeworth. It hurts.
Please tell me you can deal with such a minor cut on your own.
Girl.
Okay, am I supposed to— This.
Eureka!
There's something very unusual about this.
About what?
If the killer had broken the glass to get at the Captain Hugo Bank. Play stupid games, win stupid prizes. There should be shards of glass inside the case itself.
Oh, I see. Yeah, I guess it'd be like that.
However, there's not a single piece of glass inside the display case.
Nope. No, there isn't.
Which means that the glass was broken from the inside out. The piggy bank must have fallen over from the turbulence and right through the glass.
Yeah, that's for sure. There's so much glass all over the floor.
I'm willing to bet that this hat was knocked off its head at the time, too.
That's nice.
Which leads me to believe that the killer took the Captain Hugo Bank from here after the turbulence.
Yay! She looks like a Wookiee.
Take your power naps on your own time, Miss Meal, and listen when I'm talking.
What?
But the murder occurred before the turbulence, which rules the piggy bank out as the murder weapon.
So you mean the bank's not the real murder weapon? It's a fake?
Yes, at this point, that's a very real possibility.
But then what if when the killer went to take Captain Hugo, they broke the glass by accident?
The display case is locked, so that's highly unlikely.
Yeah, but there's one person who could've.
Oh, and who would that be?
Miss Rhoda, of course. I mean, she's the one in charge of this place, so she has the keys to everything.
Miss Rhoda Tenero, huh? What are these?
Oh, those are our company's completely original line of suitcases. They're practically flying out the door. That's how popular they are. You should buy one and see how you like it. You won't regret it.
Perhaps that is how things work on this flight, but in the real world, you try then buy.
No way. But either way, it doesn't really matter.
True. Either way, why would anyone buy a suitcase after they boarded the plane? Big brain.
Anyway, see that? Just look at all the Captain Yugo heads painted on there. Cute company mascot, isn't he? They're painted on with a lot of care. Doesn't he look like he's about to jump out at you?
It is certainly making something jump inside of my stomach.
Huh? Oh, I guess there's no fooling your refined tastes. You look like you really wanted to get one. And I thought I was going to finally make my first sale, but you saw right through it. Glad that's done, though. Never make me try to give you a sales pitch ever again, okay?
But I never showed any interest in it to begin with.
Hee hee. It really is pretty horrible, isn't it? You want to know something? This suitcase was designed by Miss Rhoda.
Miss Tenero designed this.
Yeah, it was a company-wide contest.
And she won with this? Well, it does have a very sharp design sense.
Haha, sharp? Like sticky sharp cheddar, maybe. I really have no idea why the bigwigs decided to go with it. It's so... bleh.
Miss Tenero designed this, did she? It's definitely not what I would have expected. Ah!
You okay?
I'm fine. Please watch yourself, Miss Meal. Letting a suitcase freely roll around has got to be a safety violation.
Blade shaking caused it to roll. In-flight suitcase displays can be hazardous. Here, I'll put it back.
Did the suitcase break stuff?
Maybe.
Yes, there's definitely something wrong here.
What's with the sudden yelling?
Tell me, Miss Meal, don't you think there's something strange about these suitcases?
Oh, well, sure. They totally is strange. Like the color and the such.
Maybe it was the only entry. Yeah, that's true. If it's the only entry, then she wins by default.
But Cammy made it sound like there were multiple.
Or maybe hers was even worse, who knows? That is not what I'm talking about. Now pay attention.
You're scaring me, Mr. Edgeworth.
Sorry. These suitcases are lined up a bit too prim and proper.
Yeah, they look a bit uptight, don't they? But I guess they take after their creator. Hee hee.
Again, that is not what I meant, Miss Meal. Don't you find it unusual that these cases are the only things undisturbed by the turbulence? Never mind. I'd sooner find an answer by inspecting these suitcases myself. Upon closer inspection, they really are quite hideous.
Tee. I wonder how Miss Rhoda would have reacted if she'd heard what you just said. What's wrong?
She makes a good point. It would be wise of me to watch what I say out loud. What's this? I've spotted something that's not quite right. What is so unusual about this suitcase?
It's got no stopper. Oh wait, there's pink on the wheel. Pink.
Take that!
There's something very peculiar about these wheels.
Huh? As in...
There are no stoppers in place on these. Without stoppers, one would think that the turbulence would have sent it flying.
And
so, it is very unlikely that the suitcase was placed here after we hit that turbulence. Let's take a closer look at it, shall we? What is this? The wheel is completely covered in something. This color and this scent. It appears the substance in question is grape juice.
my mans is sniffing the wheels of a suitcase.
But why would there be juice on the wheel of a suitcase?
Why not?
It appeared to be unlocked. Let's take a look at what's inside. A piece of cloth. And it's soaked with blood.
It's blood!
It appears that the suitcase is very strongly tied to our murder after all.
Yippee! So, explain this to me. What does the suitcase have to do with the murder?
I believe it is pretty safe to say that the killer used the suitcase in some manner, such as to move something, perhaps.
But aren't you just talking about the cloth then?
Dun dun dun! Indeed. That alone is too small. A larger item would be needed to move what I'm thinking of. The thing I believe the killer used this suitcase to transport is... my mans! Can I not submit my mans? From Northern European Republic of Virginia. Says he's a wealthy art dealer, time obsessed. A Go You Airlines flight attendant charged with taking care of first class. Anyway, body!
Take that!
Something that would fit inside a suitcase that is also covered in blood. Sounds like a dead body, doesn't it? This was used to transport the body. It was designed by Miss Rhoda Tenero. Found inside the suitcase, its beautiful pattern has been soiled by blood.
But...
In light of this, I'd say that Mr. Hicks was moved into the elevator from someplace else, which means that the murder was committed in an entirely different location.
So you're saying that after moving the body into the elevator, the killer brought the suitcase in here and just left it?
Exactly. What is it?
Nothing. Just that I was thinking about what Miss Rhoda said about coming here for something.
Excuse me, Mr. Edgeworth. I wanted to give you a bit more time, but I'm afraid I wasn't able to convince the captain. I'm very sorry, Mr. Edgeworth, but the captain feels that he has allowed you ample time. He says that he'd appreciate it if you could wrap it up here and return to your seat. I understand his sentiments. However, if I am not allowed to complete my investigation, the crime scene may become contaminated by the time we land. If I must stop, then I insist I be allowed to oversee the preservation of the two sites. Under your supervision, of course. If that's your only condition, then I believe I can accommodate your wishes. I'm here to assist you in any way that I can, Mr. Edgeworth.
Sounds like fun! We can camp out and watch over everything together!
I found proof that the real crime scene was not in the lounge, and I have enough evidence to prove myself to be innocent of any wrongdoing. Yet, regarding what Miss Meal said reminded me about Miss Tenero. Can't allow my investigation to end here. The truth must come to light. I will save, but I think we can keep going, at least for a little bit. We shall see. I would love to finish this case by today, but I don't know if we can. Oh my lord, it's salmonella. Hope Springs Airport. I know that once we had landed, I was supposed to let the local police take over. Thanks to Miss Tenero and Miss Meal, I was able to preserve the crime scene. But I just can't shake it. I wasn't able to talk with Miss Tenero in private. So I'm left wondering just what was she up to? Why did she do what she did? There must be a way for me to continue my investigation. I've been expecting you, Miles Edgeworth. My queen! My queen! Look at her! Franziska, I thought you were still in Germany. I go where I'm needed. And wherever there are criminals to be caught. Her name is Franziska von Karma. The daughter of my mentor, Manfred von Karma. She, like myself, is a prosecutor. Are you heading up this case? It would be a bit of a relief if you are. Don't you try to flatter me, Miles Edgeworth. I'm placing you under arrest. What? It's quite frustrating, actually. I had hoped to exact my revenge on you in a different venue. Just say baby sister, Edgy. I know, she's baby sister. But I'll have to take what I can get. I never thought I'd see the day when a disciple of the House of Von Karma would become a criminal. Have you no shame? Francie? Your father was a criminal. Girl? Wait. It has all been a big misunderstanding. I didn't kill the victim. A misunderstanding? I heard all about the murder over the police radio from the captain himself. You waited for the victim on the first floor and then beat him to death. Franziska, do you honestly believe that I killed a man? I suppose I should reserve judgment until after I've investigated this for myself. I can put your arrest on hold until then. That's as it should be. I don't need a lecture on how to perform my duties from you of all people. To be perfect in every way, the fulfillment of that creed alone is all I strive for. Well, I have my own creed, which I must fulfill, so why don't we solve this together? I have to get going. The crime scene awaits. Don't you dare leave town. Trust me, I had no intention to. Detective Gumshoe! Yes, sir!
Oh, he's back.
Too slow.
Ow!
Listen up. I'm leaving you in charge of watching this man. Don't mess up. Understood?
Mr. Edgeworth, I'm supposed to guard him?
A simple yes or no, detective.
Ah! Yes, sir! Understood, sir! You just leave it to me.
Miles Edgeworth, if you interfere with my investigation, I'll arrest you on the spot. Are we clear? Now then, if you'll excuse me.
Good to see you again, Mr. Edgeworth. Sir, boy am I glad to see you're okay.
Thank you, detective.
I believe in you, sir. You can lean on me. I'll get you through this.
I have to admit, I'm a bit curious as to what Franziska is up to. Maybe I should ask the good detective. Very well. In that case, I have a few questions for you. Wait, I want to look around. Lunchland. Not bad. I guess it's gotten big enough to warrant its own branch shops.
What should I go with?
I recommend our airport special World Flags lunchboxes, only available for a limited time. We have a variety of lunchboxes made up to look like different countries' flags.
I wonder if they're aiming to take Lunchland to the international market. Do we remember Lunchland? Do we? Raise your hand if you remember Lunchland. This man was in the first class with me. He was quite shaken up by the whole affair.
I did it. I made it the whole flight. I'm not scared of turbulence anymore.
Must have been pretty scared. He's repeating the same thing over and over to himself. What a view of the planes preparing for takeoff. Besides the turbulence, they're really not all that bad as a mode of transportation. This child seems to be happily enjoying the sight of so many planes.
Wow! I'd love to take a run down that runway!
Oh, the youth of today. So much potential, yet so misguided. Why are you judging? I want to talk to Salmonella! Looking from behind, I think I've seen this man somewhere before.
In Soviet Russia, World Flag lunchboxes eat Jew! F. Found it, lol! Oh, I feel a wave of creative powers coming on! It's over 9,000, lols! For my next lead movie, it's gonna be The Steel Samurai, Warrior of Neo, Old Tokyo, versus the World Samurai, Champion of Earth! It's gonna roxer so many boxers!
So the Steel Samurai is finally getting a movie. Buddy. Initial investigation. So how is the initial investigation going?
We just shipped the body off to the coroner's office. And we're taking statements now, sir.
That sounds like Franziska. She's always good at quick responses to a case.
I'd say she was a little too quick, sir.
Oh, how so?
I rushed on over as soon as I got word of the affair, sir. But somehow when I got here, Miss Von Karma was already here barking out orders at everyone. It was kind of creepy, as though she knew there had been a murder or something. And had come in advance to wait for your flight's arrival.
That is sort of odd. She did show up rather quickly and out of the blue. Plus, I still don't know why she's here in America. There must be some backstory to all of this.
I want to know what Edgeworth was doing in Virginia. What business did my mans have there?
Miss Von Karma just kind of popped up at the prosecutor's office about a week ago, sir. Something about chasing down leads related to a certain incident.
No details.
It's kind of top secret, so she can't talk about it, even with me, sir.
Knowing her, the only type of talking she likes to do is with her whip. Plus, I doubt the top secret part was what stopped her from talking to you, detective. Although, I wonder if her case has anything to do with mine.
Anyway, that's about all the info I have, sir. We should find out more as we investigate.
Yes, it is high time to resume my investigation. Starting with talking to the people involved in this case afresh. Oh, okay. Back to the plane we go. That is the captain. So you must be the captain.
Why, yes, I am. And who might you be?
I am the prodigy prosecutor Franziska von Karma, and I have a few questions for you. Don't you dare, Captain! Getting friendly with another woman? I'll never forgive you if you do.
Well, what are you talking about? I only have eyes for you, my dear Cammy.
I wouldn't bet money on our dear captain to be much of a reputable person.
Sure you don't want to ask the captain some questions, sir?
He was in the cockpit the entire time. I highly doubt he would know anything of use. Anyway, I'd like to leave that type of witness to Franziska and her whip. A lover's quarrel?
Ah!
Oh, that was the captain. Oops.
He got whipped. Let's go.
Now see here! Ah!
Sorry, I'm sorry!
How long do you intend to hold me? It is impossible for me to be the criminal, I tell you!
Mr. LeBlanc.
Oh, it is you! Tell this man to stop stopping me from going! Time is money! I don't have even 1 second of wasteful time to spend!
Buddy, what do you want? Did you finish taking his statement yet?
Yep, all done, sir.
I do not concern if you are not done examining the cargo hold. I want my cargo back. If you make a single scratch on my art, you will pay!
Art? What sort of art?
Mr. LeBlanc is an art dealer, so he's got a bunch of artwork down in the cargo hold, sir. There's practically a mountain of them, large and small.
From folk costumes to stone statues, I sell all kinds of arts.
Folk costumes? Speaking of which, Mr. LeBlanc's hat. It kind of looks like that other piece of cloth. Have you seen this before, my good sir? Mr. LeBlanc, can you please take a look at this for me?
Oh, it is a Virginian cloth.
As I suspected, your hat is made out of the same material, I suppose.
Yes, of course. This fabric is so famous, orders come from over the seas for more.
World famous export of Virginia. Its beautiful pattern has been soiled by blood. Then this is the cargo you were talking about earlier.
No. My cargo this time is much many gigantic. Yo, detective, when can I have my cargo moved?
You can get your cargo back when we're done investigating, pal.
The stubbornness of you police, it is no good. And it is no good that attendant refuses to exit the attendance room too.
That attendant? I wonder if he's talking about Miss Tenero. Speaketh. What did you mean by that attendant, Mr. LeBlanc?
She was taken into the attendance room for her interview. And they still have not come out. They make no sign of coming out either. I was finished with my own interview much earlier, quicker than her.
Why is Miss Tenero's interview the only one that's taking up so much time? Miles Edgeworth, you were given free rein to examine the plane, weren't you? Yes, I was able to obtain the cooperation of the flight attendants. Speaking of attendants, I'd like to speak with Miss Tenero. I wonder if you might grant me permission to enter the flight attendant's room. Before I do, you still have to clear up a few issues surrounding your own circumstances. I understand. You may have tricked those attendants with your sophisticated talking, but you can't pull the wool over my eyes, Miles Edgeworth. Just a little sibling banter. Franziska's logic. Let's not complicate things and go with the most obvious conclusion. The scene of the crime was here in the very lounge the body was discovered. From the time the victim was seen calling for an attendant until his body was found, the only person in this lounge the entire time was you, Miles Edgeworth. This, unmistakably, makes you the likeliest suspect. Actually... the likeliest suspect, Franziska. Do you have a problem with that? No, but it's not like you to use such vague wording. You're usually a bit more... absolute. I'm simply trying to watch out for you. Or is my kindness too hard for you to comprehend? Thank you, but your leniency is unnecessary, for I will prove my innocence soon enough. If I want to continue my investigation, I'll have to break her line of logic fast. Let's go! Alright, let me see. The scene of the crime was here, but I have a suitcase. But I don't know if they want that immediately, so I'm going to save because I'm scared. Suitcase.
Objection!
Okay. It would appear that you did not have all the information you needed after all. And what does that mean? I found a nice piece of evidence just before I was forced to stop investigating. A piece that proves that the body was moved from a different location. The killer used this suitcase to move the victim's body, meaning that the real scene of the crime is not this lounge at all.
Objection!
Now who's the one rashly jumping to conclusions? Excuse me. All you did was find this piece of cloth inside the suitcase. That doesn't prove that the body was moved. It could be that the killer simply chose that suitcase as a good place to hide the cloth. I expected you would come to that conclusion. It would seem I can't escape that easily. You should know better than that. Von Karma is perfect in every way. Ah, but did you know that the killer definitely wheeled the suitcase around at some point?
Objection!
As if there's proof of that! Where's the proof that this suitcase was moved around?
Take that!
The spilled grape juice in front of the elevator? Yes, and I'd like to draw your attention to this area here. Where's the evidence that proves the killer dragged the suitcase through here?
Take that!
This mark here. Wouldn't you say that it looks suspiciously like tracks from two wheels? I suppose. Further, there was also grape juice residue on the wheels of the suitcase. This means that the suitcase containing the victim's body definitely passed through here. I suppose this means that the killer did move the victim's body from somewhere else. I'm glad you've come to your senses.
Objection!
Not so fast. This still doesn't put you in the clear. Not by a long shot. Franziska's Logic Part 2. You prepared yourself and acquired the piggy bank before the plane hit that turbulence. And then you waited for the victim in the lounge, where you beat him to death. Then, while you were in the elevator with the victim's body stuffed in the suitcase, the plane hit that patch of turbulence and out flew the body from within the suitcase. With no way out, you hastily put the suitcase back where you had taken it from, and pretended to be the discoverer of the body. Girl. Not a bad bit of logic for something you thought of on the fly. Just what are you insinuating? But I will show you exactly how flawed your logic is. No matter how strong of a face you put on, not even you can hide your fears from me. I'll expose the flaws in her logic in one fell swoop. Let's go. It acquired the piggy bank before the plane hit that turbulence. Well, this was taken out of its display case in the in-flight shop after the turbulence.
Objection!
Actually. The fact that you took this piece of evidence into account in your testimony is to be commended. Your legal prowess is certainly something to be feared. Evidence and logic, essential tools that those who would stand in a courtroom must learn to master. But what if there was a fake piece of evidence thrown into the mix? A fake? This Captain Hugo piggy bank is just such a fake. It is not the real murder weapon. What? The timing of when the bank was taken from the shop is important, and it was taken after the turbulence had occurred. But then what about the blood on the bank? What do you make of that? I assume it was added after the murder when the killer fabricated this weapon. Looking at it this way, the killer basically did 3 things after the turbulence. After exiting the elevator... I like how Edgeworth was just dead there. The killer brought the suitcase to the shop and left it there. Then the killer proceeded to pick up the bank. Ah! And took it to fabricate a fake murder weapon by hitting the victim on the head. Finally, the victim's wallet was planted on my personage, in my pocket to be precise. Everything was done so that I would be framed for the murder of Mr. Ackley Hicks. You there! Okay, wait. The killer proceeded to pick the bank up from off the floor. Okay, so it wasn't anything important.
Yes, ma'am!
Other than this piggy bank, was anything else resembling a murder weapon found?
I didn't find anything in the lounge or in the shop that could be used as one, ma'am. Most of the items that could have been used were broken during the turbulence. And the remaining items all tested negative for any trace of blood.
I see. Well, Miles Edgeworth, it appears your stall tactics are at an end.
But it's possible that it's just hidden somewhere, sir.
Eek!
Oh my gosh, wait, I didn't notice that painting on the left. The one that's labeled president? That's crazy. I think is that originally a painting of Napoleon? I feel like it is. If the criminal had wanted to hide the weapon in a safer place, I think the weapon would have been hidden in the same place as the bloody cloth. Exactly what I was thinking. Because the cloth was hidden inside that suitcase, it signals to me that the killer, yeah, old man, had not prepared a more secure place to hide the evidence. Which means that the real murder weapon is either still on the murderer's personage, or still at the real crime scene.
Objection!
There's one more possibility, and what would that be? That the piggy bank is, in fact, the real weapon. But didn't we just... Let me finish! The killer took the bank from the display case before the turbulence by opening the lock on the display case door, and it was at that time that the glass pane in the door was broken. I'd say that's a perfectly reasonable line of reasoning, wouldn't you? Let's see. So that means the killer had the key to the display case. Franziska, the person you're talking about. Not so fast. I'm not finished. The person I'm talking about also committed another sin. She tricked the captain and granted you permission to conduct your investigation. Yes, it is the sin of lying. Speaking of which, I recall that you also wish to speak with her. Yes. Very well, permission granted. But only if I can sit in on your interrogation. Do we understand each other? I have no intention of interrogating her. But you are welcome to accompany me if you so wish. Miss Tenero is in the flight attendant's room. Let's move. I shout. So you're the one who poked around inside this plane without the captain's permission. Deviating from the flight attendant's manual is very unbecoming, you know. What were you hoping to accomplish by doing that? Miss Tenero.
Mr. Edgeworth, you're here too?
Whose bed is that? That is nasty. The bottom bunk is so filthy. Can you please help us and shed some light on why you did what you did?
All right.
Nasty. It's pretty easy to tell who sleeps in which bunk just by looking. I'm almost certain that the well-kept one up on top belongs to Miss Tenero.
Ew, this bottom one's a giant mess.
You sloven, squalid scoundrel of a man. How you dare to scrutinize a woman's bed and invade her privacy?
Yow!
There are some things in life best kept to yourself, detective. Alright. Why did you lie about receiving the captain's permission like that?
Because I didn't think I would be able to get his permission.
What do you mean?
The captain, he only has ears for Cammy.
I spoke with the captain a little earlier myself. He definitely seems to be rather taken with Miss Meal.
Yes, and on top of that, I had mistakenly accused Mr. Edgeworth of being the killer. I wanted to make amends.
In that case, please allow me to thank you for what you did. Thanks to you, I was able to clear myself of all charges.
Really? You were able to prove your innocence? Oh, thank goodness.
Miss Tenero, is it? There's one more thing I'd like to ask you. You were in the in-flight shop just before the turbulence, weren't you? Please answer honestly.
Yes, I was.
And why were you there?
Well,
Why the sudden hesitation? Franziska seems to have struck a nerve.
She's baby!
Daughter of my mentor Manfred von Karma and a prosecutor. Came here on an assignment. Homicide detective at the local precinct in charge of the initial investigation. Sorry, I like checking all of the profiles.
All I did was go check up on the shop like I always do.
You're saying it was for work then?
Yes, I'm in charge of the shop, so I have to keep an eye on it. I don't have any reason to go there otherwise.
After your visit to the shop, you paid a visit to this room, correct?
Yes, I came back to freshen up and adjust my makeup. I'm sorry, but there isn't much else to tell.
Miss Tenero claims to have no reason other than duty to go to the shop. Franziska von Karma followed me, my queen. Thank you so much. Much appreciated. But is that all there is to it? Maybe I should ask her about that thing. Thing. Suitcase. You could please take a look at this for me, Miss Tenero.
Oh, that suitcase.
Yes, about the suitcase. You were the one who designed it, correct? And I think I figured something else out about it. This suitcase is the reason you went to the shop, isn't it?
There's nothing you won't find out eventually, is there?
Won't you please tell me more about this suitcase?
Yes, I was interested in seeing how the suitcases I had designed were selling. I know that as a service professional, I'm not supposed to care, but I really wanted to know, and I was glad to see that it was the last one there.
Last one there.
Last one? Yes, ma'am.
You're saying, Miss Tenero, that the suitcase in question was the last one.
Yes, they're just so popular, they're practically flying off the shelves.
That's not exactly the impression I got.
The one in the shop is most definitely the last one.
Well, we're currently looking at that suitcase.
Really? Then I guess we sold all of them. Thank you very much for taking the last one.
I didn't say anything about buying it.
Then say you'll buy it.
I'm sorry, I can't.
But why? I think it'd go great with your complexion, Mr. Edgeworth. It really suits you. I guarantee it personally as a service professional.
Well, that is... How should I put this? It's hideous.
What?
Maybe that was a bit too direct. Moving on. My issue with the suitcases isn't the design. It's the number of them remaining.
Remaining?
There were 2 suitcases in the in-flight shop when I investigated it.
2? But that's impossible. I'm sure there was only one.
Looks like her story has generated quite the contradiction. Yeah, ouch is real. He was not pulling any punches.
When I left the shop, I'm positive there was only one suitcase left.
Something is amiss here. What could be the meaning of this inconsistency? By the way, Miss Tenero, what is one of those suitcases doing here?
That's...
I thought you said there was only one left.
That one is, it's mine. I've used it for a very long time now. $1,200!
Used it for a long time? I think not. Miss Tenero, I'd appreciate it if you wouldn't lie to me.
Excuse me?
I don't believe it for even 1 second that you used this for a very long time. What proves that this hasn't been used for nearly as long as Miss Tenero says?
Tell her how you really feel, Edgeworth. Yeah, tell her how ugly it is.
Take that!
Tell me, Miss Tenero, is it also your habit to keep the price tag pristine on your suitcase?
What is the meaning of this? Why would you lie about a suitcase?
Despite having faith in her design sense, the sales numbers made her cry bitter tears. The truth is becoming increasingly clear to me. Miss Tenero, I think I understand. I know what you're trying to hide. Now then, this suitcase was originally in
the in-flight shop.
Seeing as how the price tag is still on the suitcase, one can only assume it was out on the floor for sale in the shop. And the person who bought this suitcase was...
It's you!
Take that!
It was you, wasn't it, Miss Tenero? I hate to say this, but the suitcase that you designed, it hasn't sold very well, has it? You saw how poorly this design that you poured your heart into was selling, and were deeply hurt. That's why you wanted to make it look like it was selling by buying it yourself. Isn't that right?
Then, the reason you went to the shop and came back here was... I'm sorry.
She's a very poor liar. Oh yeah, it's too obvious.
All I really have is my job. I was overjoyed when my design was chosen. I thought that maybe I had finally accomplished something.
Suitcases didn't sell.
It's because of the design, isn't it? All because it's as you put it. Hideous.
I can't say they chose a great place in which to sell them, either.
We weren't selling a single one, and they were just sitting there collecting dust. I felt so bad seeing them there day in and day out. So I decided to buy one for every flight I worked.
That is insane.
You buy one every single time you work a flight.
I see. So in order to keep your resolution, you went and bought one today as well. Yes, and here's my receipt for the purchase.
This receipt is clearly timestamped 5:40 a.m.
Bought in the in-flight shop and left in the attendance room. The timestamp says 5:40 a.m. Truth is, there's still a bunch of them left unsold. They're planning to scrap the remaining ones at the end of this flight.
Miss Tenero, where are these other suitcases?
They should all be down in the cargo hold.
Then the suitcase the killer used could very well have come from the cargo hold.
Mr. Edgeworth, you don't think that the killer used one of my suitcases to...
How much money does she make? Yeah, how much money does she make? If she gets one every flight, that's crazy. $1,200.
Yes, I do. The killer used one of your beloved suitcases to move the victim's body.
How could they? Those suitcases were meant to be faithful partners to our passengers on their trips. That's all I ever wished for them to be.
Miss Tenero, is there any other way to get to the cargo hold other than the elevator?
The only other way is just through that door there.
And what about security?
That door has no special lock installed because just to enter this room, you need a special keycard that only crew members have access to.
Which means that the culprit is someone who can enter this room, eliminating the passengers and leaving only crew members as potential suspects.
I can't believe it.
Yes, Franziska.
Going on with these wild goose chases. You're a disgrace to the Von Karma name.
And what do you mean by that?
The suitcase came from the cargo hold. That fact alone tells the whole story.
Yes, which is why I said the culprit must be a crew member who used their keycard.
Miles Edgeworth, you're proposing that the killer rode the elevator from the cargo hold, correct?
Yes, that is the only realistic possibility.
That other attendant, Miss Meal. I asked her earlier and she had this to say.
Franziska got information out of Miss Meal.
In order to make the elevator go down to the cargo hold, a different keycard is required.
A different one.
Yes, and the only person who holds that particular card is you, Miss Rhoda Tenero, and only you. The price has to be in Japanese. Yeah, no way could she afford it otherwise. Maybe. I guess, yeah, that would make sense. Still, that's pretty crazy. That's still a lot of money to be spending on a suitcase. Ah!
What? Is this true, Miss Tenero?
Yes, I keep the keycard in my locker at all times.
Will you please show us that card right now?
Yes, hold on. I don't believe it.
What's wrong?
The keycard, it's gone.
Ha ha ha, very clever. Pretending that your card was stolen when in fact you're just trying to hide it from us. You really thought this through.
Wait, it's not like that.
You can tell us all about what it's like down at the station. Officer, arrest this woman.
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Edgeworth.
Why does the box with all the trophies and stuff in it say fabulous? Oh my gosh. She should really keep that card on her at all times. That's what I'm saying. What's wrong? There's disbelief written all over your face.
Franziska, I know that you're the lead investigator on this case. However...
Hold it! Don't even think about wasting any more of my time. You know the rules as well as I do. Evidence speaks louder than words. Even if this isn't a courtroom, that basic tenet still applies. I intend to investigate the cargo hold now. What'll you do, Miles Edgeworth?
Tend to do likewise.
Alright. As much as I would love to continue, my voice is starting to perish. So I think we will end here for today.